Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to make a short video um, for the people who are in my personal life. They needed me to do an update on my books that are coming out, and not only my personal people in my life, but a lot of people um, have been observing a lot of my videos on YouTube, and some of them are kind of difficult to understand. And plus, I had a brother that was telling me, "Hey, man, why you always got them strange backgrounds behind your video? Why don't you make one fresh?" Okay, big bro, you see it. You see it. I listen, big bro. I got you. But yeah, my whole plan with my writing. I'm just gonna say this right quick. I have a female friend that goes by the name of Rose. She's a brilliant writer. She's a beautiful sister, and she's very wise. And I recall having a conversation with her. I believe it was like 3.5 years ago. She was telling me that I don't understand that every time I put a book out, um, it doesn't seem to do well. She said, I only make a little money. She said, I make some money. She said, but I only make a little money. She said, but all at the same time, I keep finding myself having to work more and more. So, she was saying that it seems like no matter how much she writes and no matter how much work that she puts out, um, it doesn't seem to um, make an effective difference on her economic struggles. And so I was telling her, because she was asking me, you have all of that work that you're gonna put out. She said, when are you gonna start putting your books out? And so I'm only bringing this up because I would suggest this to more of my peers. If you have the patience for it, or if you have the strength to wait. I already have 4 books coming out in 2023. And I've been giving bits and pieces of my first book, Dawn of Redemption, just to see how people respond to it. And a lot of people haven't been responding to it, but some people have. And that doesn't discourage me because I know the value of my writing. But one of the reasons why I'm holding back 4 books is because I have 2 more books that I'm working on currently. And so after I'm done with those books, which should be like, I would say like 3 months into 2023, I'm going to put all of my work out so that I can get various areas of revenue coming in at once, so that my revenue will come in a sufficient amount, along with me working for the RTC out here as a security guard, and I'm making very good money with that. So what you have to do, you have to put out a good amount of work so that your revenue would come back from each and every one of those books, and then continue to work for as long as you feel like you need to, and just keep investing in yourself. Just invest in yourself. So, I mean, even though you're going back and forth to work, the mentality that you should have consistently is that I'm investing in myself. So when you're having all of those sources of revenue coming in, and everything is going to your whatever account that you have fixed up for your books and all of that, let it go to that. And you have those 4 books coming in. I'm going to have the 2 books going out to join with those 4 books. And from each book, I'm going to have audiobooks. And I'm going to be looking for some people to do certain voices for certain characters, because my audiobooks are going to be different. My audiobooks are going to basically sound like movies, because I'm going to have soundtrack, music behind it, that I'm going to have to get permission from various places in order to use their music to stress what the content is about. And I'm going to use different people's voices that I know, and I'm going to have sound effects where sound effects are needed, not consistent sound effects, because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it. But I'm going to have, like I said, the books. I'm going to have the audio books. And see what it is, when you put your work out, you put the work out, it's almost like starting a car. You know, like these 4 books that I'm going to put out in 2023, that's going to turn the ignition. And then the 2 books that I'm going to put out on top of those, that's going to start the engine. And then the books coming after that are going to start the engine. And then even after the engine is started and it's running, I'm going to I'm still going to work and keep investing in myself for like 1.5 to 2 years. I don't have any habits. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. All I do is work, write, and rest. And with that, it can only be beneficial to what I'm trying to do to get free from this economic system. So that's pretty much it, you know. So I would suggest to my peers, the writers, to hold back some of your work and then put out a good amount of work so that your kickback from your revenue will be good. You know, you have a good amount of revenue coming in up on top of your 9 to 5, and you just keep doing that, keep writing, keep investing in yourself. Because when I met Prince, yes, I met Prince at Mike Tyson's fight with Holyfield, when Mike had bit Holyfield's ears. And when I talked to Prince, I asked him, what is the best advice that you can give me as a writer? And he told me, he said, you see all of these things, we were inside the New York casino out here in Las Vegas. And he was pointing to the inner structure of the casino. He said, you see everything? You see the structure of this building and everything? He said, before all of this was manifested, he said, someone had to have first wrote everything that you see down. And he said, the best advice that I can give you, David, he said, is keep writing. He says, as long as you keep writing, something is going to happen. And like the scriptures say, and the word became flesh. You know, so my encouragement to my peers is to keep writing. Keep writing. Don't get frustrated, because frustration has the intention of wanting you to quit. You know, because frustration comes along. Because see, frustration itself is an entity that attacks you when you are made to feel unsure. And then here comes frustration, wants to attack you. And frustration has a deceptive intelligence in it that tries to convince you that what you're doing is futile. And so it wants you to feel discouraged. It wants to discourage you so that you can feel discouraged and so that you can get angry. And that leads to anxiety. And that anxiety leads to more anger. And that anger leads to frustration. And then frustration influences you to quit. And like it says of all writers, a writer writes. So like Brother Prince, rest in peace, told me, as long as you're writing, David, keep writing. He says, as long as you're writing, something is going to happen, because this is how we got his music. He first wrote it down, So that's my plan. Since a lot of people in my life was asking me, when are your books coming out? So that's one of the reasons why a lot of my work is being held back. And I had one publishing company wrote me a few years ago and was telling me that my writing was too advanced. They said your writing is at the second college level. And they said, in order for us to sell this book, they was talking about Dawn of Redemption. And they were saying, in order for them to be able to sell this book and it be beneficial for their publishing company and therefore myself, you have to bring down the content on an intellectual level. And me, I'm not going to compromise anything that I write. I mean, if you don't understand it, get a dictionary. And if you don't want to take the time to get a dictionary to understand exactly what's being said, then my work is not for you. I don't write it purposely in a way like that. That's just a source of my education that I accumulated when I was coming up in Chicago. So that's pretty much the result of that. The education that I accumulated in Chicago encouraged me to also go outside the institution and downtown to a huge library on 520 North Michigan in Chicago. And so I've been pretty much educating myself from the age of 12, actually. But while I was in high school, I would also go downtown to that particular library on 520 North Michigan, as I said, and I would further educate myself in not only areas where I was getting information where I was when I was in high school, but I was also seeking information that had interested me personally on a personal basis, because I felt like the institutions was only giving us, as a lot of people say, surface dwelling information. And I felt like I wanted further insight into the functions of everything. And I found out a lot of things about social engineering, psychology, social psychology, political science, and just my own sense of observation of human behavior and the effects of everything. And so that's why my writing sometimes and my videos are so difficult to understand, and I'm not going to apologize for that. But for those who are interested in my writing and my videos, I do appreciate it. But I just wanted to make this video right quick to give everyone who was inquiring on when my work is going to be going out. So my work is going to be going out I would say March of 2023. That's when I'm going to release my 4 books, and I would say about five months after that, I should be done with my 2 books, which both are going to be, I believe, a part 1 and a part 2, based upon this very mysterious character, that I only refer to this character as him. But it's a very intellectual, deeply intellectual, political, and spiritual, um, 2-part story about social engineering and how um, the government powers um, go in harmony with the religious powers and the political scientists and the psychologists and the curriculum and the educational system, all the way back to kindergarten, all the way up to wherever you are in your area of education, even if you're currently in college. So it explains a whole lot, um, how the system works and how um, the system affects human behavior, and how human behavior encourages more of the government systems to come up with further policies in order to further govern the governed. So it's pretty deep, and it's pretty um, informative, and it's going to be written in a way to where you can actually you'll be able to actually research what I'm giving to you, but I'm just giving it to you in a story format, So it's a lot of dialogue. So my writing is a lot of um, intellectual, spiritual, some violence, but I don't overdo it with violence, and there's barely any sex in my books. So it's like if you are interested in reading, stories where it's going to be a whole lot of bumping and grinding, you're not going to get that from David Bravo. You're not going to get that from me. But in spite of the content of any of my writing, the primary content that I love writing about is redemption, because I always feel like, and I've always felt like, redemption is a beautiful thing. That's why I always try to stress people to resolve their differences, because when you resolve your differences with other people in your life, you're resolving the differences within yourself. So that's why I always stress people to communicate and to resolve the differences, and ignore those people who assert that you're always holding on to the past, which is not true. But with all of that being said, I just wanted to make this video and let everyone know when my work is coming out, because people has been asking me this for years. And so that's the reason why my work hasn't been going out, along with all of the other setbacks that I've had in my personal life. And simply because of everything that I suffered in Georgia, which was very traumatic, but I survived it, and it put me in a state of mind and in a state of heart now that I really don't care about anything else other than just what I'm on this earth to do and what I'm here for, as far as my efforts to try to give as much of what the Creator has given me to help humanity move forward as far as the evolution is concerned of society and humanity as a whole. Okay, with that being said, as I always say, stay human, and y'all have a good night. Peace.